It's also my honor this morning to introduce the mayor of Lufkin, Mayor Hicks. Mayor Hicks sold my agency, some property several years ago, 5 years ago now, as a matter of fact, in Jasper. And I want you to know, Mayor Hicks, that that parking lot that we put on that location is now parking cars for a business that has 240 employees. So we're very honored that that landed in downtown Jasper, and without the parking lot, the courthouse folks would have been real upset. So thank you for selling us that property. Mayor Hicks was sworn in on May the 15th, 2021 as the new mayor for the city of Lufkin. Mayor Hicks is a fifth-generation Lufkinite with deep ties to Lufkin and Angelina County. He is a graduate of Lufkin High School and received his bachelor's from Stephen F. Austin State University. He and his wife, Callie, have 3 daughters, Caroline, Macy, and Aniston. Mr. Hicks is a real estate developer with focus on revitalizing many of the historic buildings in downtown Lufkin. And before you leave today, I would encourage you to go downtown. I went just the other day and didn't realize the roadblocks were there. But as soon as they're gone, it's going to be phenomenal. We are trying to do revitalization in downtown Jasper, and I know the challenge that can be. Mayor Hicks was the 2011 recipient of the Golden Anvil Award for his work revitalizing downtown Lufkin. He currently serves on the Angelina County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, the Women's Shelter of East Texas Board of Directors, Lufkin Economic Development Partnership, past chairman of Angelina County United Way, and is a member of Harmony Hill Baptist Church. Please welcome Mayor Hicks.
Good morning. How many small business owners do we have with us today? You guys raise your hands. How many of you would say small business is a struggle? More, yeah. How many say life is a struggle? Everybody. All right. On behalf of the city of Lufkin, as their mayor and on behalf of our city council, I want to welcome you to our community today. I know many of you live here, but if you're traveling from out of town, we're glad you've chosen to spend your day in Lufkin. We're very proud of our community, and we're doing some positive things right now in our community. If you do go downtown, we have a big project, a revitalization project going on right now, where we're extending our sidewalks out and creating better walkability, renovating a park area. So we're working on some improvements here. We've got improvements going on and out at our sport facilities, Morris Frank Park. We've added AstroTurf to our ball fields. So we're proud of this community, and we want to do things to improve it and make it better for the future. We realize that if we're standing still, then we're dying, so we want to be constantly moving forward. I'm proud to be here today to support small business. I'm a small business owner. I started my first small business when I was 12 years old and grew it from there. It was a video production company, and I did that till about 2006 when the economy started to change and much of the advertising moved to online platforms with social media and things like that. I'm sure those of you that were in business during that time remember the shift. But small business it's great. It's something I'm very passionate about. I love to see people start businesses and grow those businesses. We realize how small business supports this community. It's a huge driving force in this community. Good paying jobs are everything. They help you support your family and provide for your community and your family and live a good lifestyle. But business is not easy. Definitely being in small business. How many of you guys started your own business or purchased let's start with how many of you guys started your own business? Okay, so many of you out there. How many of you guys have been in business 5+ years? Do you feel like it's getting easier over time? Is it important to know a good banker? Yeah. In fact, I see a couple of them in the back there. Glad you guys are here with us today. Great banks to work with. So again, I want to encourage you in your small business as it grows. It is definitely a struggle. Nothing great is ever easy. So you realize the time involved, but it's very rewarding and allows you to spend your time the way that you choose. So again, thank you for being with us today. It's great to see everyone, and I hope you get get a lot out of today's show and learn a lot you can take back and apply in your small business. So thank you very much.
Well, the facility you're in and the campus that you're on is led by Dr. Simon, and I'd like to introduce him to you. Dr. Simon became the third president of Angelina College in August of 2015. Dr. Simon has served higher education institutions in a variety of leadership and management roles in 4 states for more than 30 years. Dr. Simon's personal experience as a first-generation college student from a rural community connects him directly to the shared experiences and challenges of many community college students. I would like to say this about Dr. Simon. Coming from a rural community college to a rural community college, it means a lot to us. And you're able to run this college as if you know how we are. And that means a lot because sometimes folks in academia don't really understand what it's like to be rural. And rural is kind of like small business. It has many different definitions. But I would like to say that with his leadership, Angelina College has developed and launched non-credit programs in response to regional workforce demand, entered into a collaborative relationship to offer a bachelor degree and a master degree in nursing on the AC campus, and that is amazing. Initiated the admission of international students and launched men's and women's soccer. Dr. Simon holds a Doctor of Education in Higher Education, a Master of Arts in Public Administration, and a Bachelor of Science. His research focus is the political and economic context of the community college movement in the United States. Dr. Simon and his wife, Sarah, have been married for 24 years. So help me welcome Dr. Simon.
Well, that was probably more than you ever wanted to know about Michael Simon, so thank you for that kind introduction. Welcome to the campus of Angelina College, truly your community college campus. We're so pleased to have you here. I want to thank the governor and the governor's office for selecting this as the site for the summit. Our campus is just so pleased and honored to have you here. I also want to thank the Texas Forest Country Partnership, the local workforce board, and the Texas Workforce Commission, and Stephen F. Austin State University for their partnership, their support of this event, and just the good work that we do together to try and serve this region. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't also thank my colleagues who are here today. We've got the Small Business Development Center here, as well as leadership for the Nonprofit Leadership Center. I just want to make sure that I mention how important the work they do for us is. Really, economic development, supporting small businesses, and being a part of our community is in the DNA of a community college. Obviously, it's right in the name. And so we would not be able to fulfill our mission unless we were supporting those of you that go out there and start small businesses and create jobs and economic activity for our region. You know, as I was preparing for today, and I promise this isn't a speech, I'll be quick, but I was reading Bob Dole's speech that he delivered when he retired from the Senate after 27 years of service. And what he said is, he was talking about leadership, but I think you could take the word leader and replace it with small business owners and entrepreneurs. So I'm going to do that. I'll paraphrase. Business owners and entrepreneurs stand ready to make the hard decisions and to live with the consequences. They don't pass it off to somebody else. They do what has to be done, and at their best, they accept change, even while adhering to the values that are timeless, to duty and decency, to courage and sacrifice, to public conscience and personal responsibility. I have a number of people in my family who are small business owners, and when I read that, I just thought of them. That really is what it takes to be successful year after year, generation after generation in a small business, is that commitment to the community and that understanding that there's no white knight coming to save the day. You are the white knights, and you have to find the solutions. And I hope that the folks, things like this summit, the agencies and entities that are here to support you can help you to do that. Again, welcome to the campus. We're so happy to have you here, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.
I get to, and I feel like it's a privilege to serve on the Workforce Solutions Deep East Texas Board, Commissioner Trevino, and it's an honor today to get to introduce you. We work very closely with your agency, and without you guys, we wouldn't be who we are. And and our executive director here today, Mark Duran, thank you, Mark, for all that you do to lead our organization. Commissioner Trevino serves as the commissioner representing labor for the Texas Workforce Commission. On January the 9th, 2023, Governor Greg Abbott appointed him to the three-member commission, and he was confirmed by the Texas Senate on March 15th, 2023. Prior to his appointment, Commissioner Trevino of Harlingen served as a retired U.S. Border Patrol agent, and aren't you glad you're retired, probably, and had served in that capacity for 33 years of combined law enforcement and Border Patrol experience, with 21 years of service, Local 3307 of the National Border Patrol Council, where he served as Executive Vice President and later as Treasurer. Prior to that appointment, Commissioner Trevino served as a police instructor, background investigator, and patrol officer for Harlingen Police Department. He is a third-degree Knight of the Knights of Columbus, former member of the City of Harlingen Tennis Advisory Board, and former volunteer for Little League Baseball. That should be at the top of your accomplishments. Commissioner Trevino received an associate degree in criminal justice from Texas Southmost College. Again, it's an honor and a privilege serving on a workforce board to have one of our commissioners here today, so please help me welcome Commissioner Trevino.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie. And good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here to address you all here at the Governor's Small Business Summit. As Eddie said, my name is Alberto Trevino III. I'm originally from Harlingen, Texas, which is deep south, I guess, as opposed to deep east, in the Rio Grande Valley. I grew up with a family as well of small business owners. My grandfather had a sewing machine center that he would fix sewing machines, and when I was in high school, I had the opportunity to go work with him through the summers to help him pick up the big heavy sewing machines, take them to the customers' cars and whatnot. So what I learned from that experience was the passion that he had, not just for his craft and his job, but the way he treated his customers. My father was a dentist in Harlingen, and we would go see him after school. We would do our homework in his office, and we'd see the way he would work with his patients and the care and practice that he really took to make sure that they were comfortable and safe. And everybody's afraid to go to the dentist, but he made it a pleasurable experience from hearing some of the patients that he would treat and what they would tell us, that he was such a wonderful, soft-hand man that treated him very right. A couple of weeks ago, I was back home, and I had the opportunity to visit a friend of mine who owns a jewelry store. And it was a Saturday morning. We walked in, and he was by himself, but he was very busy, so he recruited me and put me to work. But I got to see how he still had the passion with what he did and how he took care of his customers. So the theme is that you all really care about what you're doing and how you're doing it, and the people that you are serving in your community. So I know the governor's office is real big on small business and entrepreneurs and puts these wonderful summits on. So I'm going to close by just saying I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and speak to you all today and kick off this summit, and hope that you really take something away from this summit that can help you or help another small business or entrepreneur in your area. So have a great summit, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.
I know exactly how far it is to Harlingen. I actually, several years ago, was officiating a ball game at UT Pan Am, and they changed the time of the game, and so I'd flown into Harlingen. so I missed my flight going back. So I drove my rent car from Harlingen to Houston Hobby. I got to the bank in time to open, but it was a long night. I was taught by Brent Moe, a good friend of mine in Jasper, that if you ever get sleepy driving after a ball game, you just hold a $100 bill in your hand out the window. You won't let go of it, and you'll stay awake. And I practiced that night coming back. I love the Valley. I was at an apprenticeship conference in McAllen a year or so ago, and it's beautiful down there. You're doing some great work in the Valley. Next, we have Miss Annie Dennis. She is the Deputy Director of the Office of Governor Economic Development and Tourism. And we really enjoy the relationship we have with that agency, and big things have happened in Texas because of that agency. At this time, I would like to invite a member of the leadership team from the Texas Economic Development and Tourism Office to the stage. Miss Annie, here she comes. She's Baptist, I guess. She was sitting on the back row. Annie is the Deputy Director of Business and Community Development, and she is responsible for assisting Director of the BCD, Business and Community Development. You know, Mark tells us all the time at our workforce meetings, acronyms. So when you threw the BCD in there, I had to go back up and read the paragraph ahead of it. But anyway, with the management of the existing industry, small business, international, marketing, and research teams, with specific oversight of the business recruitment and community relationship teams. Annie has 11 years of economic development experience, including the last 5 with the Texas Governor's Office. Prior to joining the Economic Development and Tourism, she spent 6 years in Washington, D.C. in international economic development. Annie holds a master's degree in international administration, policy, and intelligence analysis from the Joseph Corbel School of International Studies in Denver, Colorado. And as a part of this degree program, she served for 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer. Thank you for that service, too, by the way. Working with internally displaced person in the nation of Georgia. Annie lives in Austin with her husband, son, and their King Charles Cavalier. You may have to expound on that. Please help me welcome Annie Dennis to the stage. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Short, I always have to adjust. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. As mentioned, my name is Annie Dennis, and it is my privilege to welcome you on behalf of the Texas Governor's Office of Economic Development and Tourism to our Small Business Summit here in Lufkin. Now, I'm obviously not a small business owner, but I am married to one, and I was lucky to have met him after the startup phase, long after he and his partner were no longer living in their office. But I do experience with him on a daily basis the highs and lows, the struggles and the rewards of business ownership. Thank you for that. And I understand the courage and creativity it takes to start and continually grow a business. And thank God we live in Texas, where that get up and go mentality and spirit of tenacity is just a part of our culture. There are so many entrepreneurially-minded individuals, like those of you in the room today, folks who had a vision to create something of their own, who dug deep, made sacrifices, remained resilient, and as a result, not only are reaping the rewards of their labor, but also able to give back in a major way. They're creating jobs so that others can provide for their families, and are making numerous positive impacts in their own communities and beyond. So I just want to say that we at the state know that this journey is challenging, and it has been especially so in the last few years, but we thank you for taking it on. We know how rewarding it can be, and we are excited for you. So that's why we're here today, to do what we can to support you in this journey by bringing together timely information and relevant resources to help you pursue your dream. And there have been so many different groups and individuals involved in putting this conference together, so I just want to take a moment to thank them. So first of all, we want to thank our partners. Thank you, Angelina College, for the use of your facilities, and Texas Workforce Commission for supporting our efforts to take this programming statewide. We would also like to thank the Texas Forest Country Partnership, Angelina College SBDC, Deep East Texas Workforce Solutions, Stephen F. Austin State University's Small Business Resource Hub, and Stephen F. Austin State University Center for Applied Research and Innovation. Thank you for inviting us into your community and supporting our efforts to assist local entrepreneurs and small business owners. Thank you also to our community sponsors, Jasper Economic Development Corporation, Commercial Bank of Texas, ServPro, and Lufkin Economic Development. I would also like to recognize our Governor's Office small business team members that worked to put this event together and are here to assist you. In the back there we have Jarvis Brewer, he's our Texas Small Business Associate, Brian Roller, Business Assistant Specialist and Event Coordinator, and then also in the back we have Sandra Sanchez and David Manchaca Garcia, who are Business Assistant Specialists. And I think you all know Betty Russo, who is our Governor's Office East Texas Region Representative, there in the back. And then finally, I want to thank and recognize our resource provider partners. These are the folks that have services and resources for you, and we're going to show them here on the screen. So please take time to network with these folks during your breaks and at lunch to see how they can assist you. All right, and thank you all again, and now we're going to have a few words from our governor.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. Welcome to the Governor's Small Business Summit, and thank everybody for being part of this exciting event. The more than 3 million small businesses in our great state are the backbone of the great Texas economy. Thanks to small businesses, Texas leads the nation in economic expansion. And we are the #1 state for job creation in 2023. Texas is also a top state for women, minority, and veteran-owned businesses. And we lead the nation in small business growth. Men and women willing to take a risk, dig deep into their own pockets, and stake their future on an idea have long written the story of Texas. That pioneering spirit still fuels our shared prosperity today. Together, we are all building a bigger, better Texas for the next generation. May God bless you all, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas.
That was Zoom, by the way, and he saw everybody that clapped and didn't clap, so I'm kidding. Well, we're a little ahead of schedule, Brian, and that's not a bad thing, I don't guess. Before we get into the panel sessions, though, let me give you a brief overview of what we're going to do today. All of our informational panels will be held right here in the ballroom, starting with our Access to Finance and Funding panel, moderated by Tara Watson-Watkins. I see her sitting back there. And starting at 9:55, but I think once we get through with this, we'll just take a 10-minute break and then get back and get started. Okay, all right. Well, why don't we just stay with 9:55 then? And that discussion will be followed with cybersecurity, which should be very informational and important to small businesses because cybersecurity is so important now with the technology that's out there to invade your privacy. Moderated by Brian Roller, and then followed up by that, we will have a lunch break at around 12 o'clock and listen to a fireside chat with successful entrepreneurs from the Deep East Texas area, moderated by our own SBDC, Diane Amorine. So we're excited about Diane being able to moderate that. Then at 1:10, we're going to come back together and dive into our final panel titled, What's Hot in Small Business Marketing and Social Media, being moderated by Yana Ogletree. And then we will close out the event with the presentation of some Governor's Small Business Awards and a short message from Texas's small business advocate, Jarvis Brewer. Also during today's event, please take advantage in the corner back here to my right, free professional headshots that every business owner should have in their portfolio in today's digital economy. We're working on a new website at my agency, and that's one of the things that we're going to have to do as well. People just love seeing faces with the business or entity that you represent. This free service is being provided by the Office of the Governor's Small Business Assistance Team and is located in the corner back where the umbrella is. The restrooms are out in the foyer, And we encourage attendees to engage with these exhibitors. And I'm so glad to see that our tables are full. And I know they're just really wanting to visit with you about the services they can provide to you. So please stop by the table and visit with them. And then lastly, a special emphasis on following this event. A survey will go out so you can provide your feedback about the event and help us shape events in the future. Again, on behalf of the Deep East Texas region, Texas Forest Country Partnership that covers 12 counties, it's an honor to have this in Lufkin, Texas. And we don't get opportunities like this very often. So Brian, please let the governor's office know we're pleased. And if I could take just a second to brag on Betty. Annie, if you'll go back and brag on Betty for us. She does a great job. She's got 54 counties, or I don't know how many she's got. She's got everything from I-45 east, I think. But thank you, Betty, for what you do and how you're available when we need you. So I just wanted to say that. So now it's time, if you would, let's mingle a little bit, network a little bit, go visit the tables, and then we'll come back at 9:55. Okay, thank you.